Hey everyone, this is Tony, Tainted Lord A7, and here's CD Collection Part 9. So let's go straight to it. The first two CDs are from the same band. The first one being The Foreshadowing, Second World. A really good gothic metal album that's very emotional, emotive, but just really good gothic metal. So if you're into that, definitely check out The Foreshadowing, Second World. Next up is The Foreshadowing, Seven Heads, Ten Horns. Strange title, but another solid gothic metal album from The Foreshadowing. So yeah, Seven Heads, Ten Horns, good stuff. Next one is Cecile Monique, Genesis. She's like a Canadian underground metal singer who specializes in who specializes in symphonic metal, and Genesis is her debut album. So if you're into like some really well done symphonic metal, I definitely recommend check out Cecile Monique and her album Genesis. Really good symphonic metal. Next up is all my Seven Dust albums. And I'm not going to talk too much about them because, in my opinion, all of them are all great albums from Seven Dust. This band has always been consistent about delivering some solid alternative rock, alternative metal. So I'm not going to talk too much about them because all of them are all good by Seven Dust. The first one being Truth Killer by Seven Dust. Blood and Stone by Seven Dust. Seasons by Seven Dust. Next one is Home. Yeah, Home by Seven Dust. All I See Is War by Seven Dust. And the last Seven Dust album that I have is Animosity by Seven Dust. So those are all my Seven Dust albums I have, and they're all solid albums in my opinion. None of them is better than the other. To me, they're all solid albums. If you're into alternative metal, alternative rock, and maybe a little bit of new metal and some modern metal, those Seven Dust albums I show are highly recommended. Anyways, let's move on. Next CD is Crimson Shadows, Kings Among Men. If you're into some heavy metal, power metal, I definitely recommend check out Crimson Shadows, Kings Among Men. Really great album. Okay, next up is all my Slipknot CDs. The first one being The End So Far by Slipknot. A really good, excellent, heavy, aggressive album by Slipknot, in my opinion. Really good stuff. So yeah, Slipknot, The End So Far. Next up is We Are Not Your Kind by Slipknot. Another excellent album from Slipknot. Really good stuff. Next up is All Hope All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot. A little bit softer sounding, and 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 despite that, it's still a really good heavy album. Just some songs on here is a bit softer, but I personally think this is a really good Slipknot album. So yeah, All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot. Next up is Volume 3, The Subliminal Voices by Slipknot. Probably the album that really got them really popular into the mainstream, in my opinion, because some of the songs on here is a little bit more radio friendly, but despite that, I still think this is a good album. If you love your new metal, alternative rock, alternative metal, I I really do think this is a good album from Slipknot. So yeah, Volume 3, The Subliminal Voices by Slipknot. Next up is two of the best Slipknot albums in their entire career. The first one being Iowa by Slipknot. Very heavy, aggressive, and maniacal. Just one of the most aggressive albums that Slipknot has ever released. So yeah, Iowa by Slipknot. And the last Slipknot album that I have is their self-titled debut album. One of the most heavy, aggressive, maniacal debut albums that's ever been done and released. Just wow. Really heavy stuff by Slipknot. So that's the self-titled debut album by Slipknot. Okay, the next two CDs are from the same band. The first one being OTEP, The Accession. Some pretty good new metal, alternative metal, led by a pissed off female vocalist who 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 I must admit has some really good death metal style growls and vocals on in this band. But yeah, just a pretty good album from OTEP. So yeah, The Accession by OTEP. Next up is OTEP Severus Tra. A really solid, aggressive new metal, alternative metal album that can actually pass off as being a death metal album, believe it or not. At some points, this album can honestly sound like death metal, even though it's mostly new metal, alternative metal, but it's just a really great album from OTEP. So yeah, Severus Tra by OTEP. Yeah. Okay, next CD is November's Doom, Blood White. A really good gothic doom metal album by November's Doom. Perfect for cloudy, rainy weather that's happening like right now as I'm doing this video. But yeah, a very gloomy, doomy, but excellent album. November's Doom, Blood White. Next up is Morbid Angel, Kingdoms Disdained. Yeah, Kingdoms Disdained by Morbid Angel. An excellent death metal album from Morbid Angel. Next up is a classic from Morbid Angel, Covenant by Morbid Angel. Classic 90s death metal. That's all you need to know. Morbid Angel, Covenant. Next up is Tristania, Darkest Rite. a really, really excellent gothic metal album. Really good stuff. So yeah, Tristania, the darkest white. Next up is Tristania, Widow's Reeds. Yeah, Widow's Reeds by Tristania. Another excellent gothic metal album from the 90s. Just a classic in in the whole gothic metal genre, in my opinion. So yeah, Tristania, Widow's Reeds, excellent, well done 90s gothic metal. Next up is Forest of Impaled for the Spears, an excellent US black and black death metal band. Yeah. An excellent US black and death metal band that's severely underrated and unfortunately they're not around anymore, but yeah, I think Force of Impaled are a really underrated band and more people should know about this band, but it is what it is. So yeah, Force of Impaled for the Spears, an excellent black death metal album. Next up is Revocation, Great is Our Sin, an excellent, well done death metal album. Really good stuff. Um, and yeah, just an excellent death metal album. Revocations, Great is Our Sin. Next up is Burn the Priest, Legion XX. I don't know the Roman numeral number for that, so I'm just going to call it XX. But yeah, Burn the Priest, Legion XX is a covers album from Lamb of God, who everybody should know was Burn the Priest before, and this is a cover album of all the hardcore punk rock bands that they were influenced by. So yeah, as far as cover albums go, this is a pretty good one. So yeah, Burn the Priest, Legion XX. And the last CD I'm going to show off for this CD collection is Breaking Benjamin, Phobia. I'm not going to lie, I'm not too big on this band, and I bought this album at a secondhand store to see if I'll enjoy them or not. And while this album is a pretty good alternative metal, alternative rock album, Breaking Benjamin is just not for me. And Phobia is a good album, and it's probably the only album I need from Breaking Benjamin. So, yeah, last CD is Breaking Benjamin, Phobia. A good alternative rock album, alternative metal album, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. And that's everyone. That's CD Collection Part 9. Look forward to Part 10 when that happens, whenever that happens. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So take care and goodbye for now.